The high-performing organization are systems-driven. And the talent-driven organization believes in the Superman's theory. Let us just get the right people alone. But you see, if you get the right people and you don't put systems in place, whenever they leave, you say things like, they've carried my business knowledge away, we have to start all over again. And the problem is, your over-reliance on talent more than system. A case in point is, we had this lady a while ago, let me call her Lady B.
Okay.
This girl, very amazing, but guess what? Whenever any customer calls in, she records it. I don't know where. She has a recorder in her brain. So most times when you want to retrieve anything, she gives it to you without documentation. So for so long, anybody that they put in that department always feel, I cannot be like this girl. This girl is so good to a level, I cannot play this role. So at some point, I had to assist that system to say, no, for every customer that calls in, you must document them. Meaning that if you want to retrieve also, there must be a system that will tell you, in 2 days' time, this customer asks for ABC. I must remind the customer, I must call the customer, not by making sure you're reminding by art, but by system. That means there's a system you put in place that's reminding you. So all you need to do is to train anyone to be able to use the system. That means anybody coming now can remember. Why? Everybody will have to document. And when you document, when you want to retrieve, all you have to go is to go back to the system and bring it out. So what we have is most businesses are not scalable because most knowledge are in the talents. So for you to evolve, we must constantly systemize. Let's say, for example, you want to recruit, then you now got someone that the person said is the greatest recruiter. How does he recruit? He just looks at people's face and suddenly you just pick the right person. That's not scalable. Even though that person said intuitively I can pick, we know we can bring that intuition. What are those things you've put in place together? What are those things should we look out for? People that have been in this role before, what exactly were the folk? What are those things that made them thrive? Oh, they used to call customers 10 times and talk to them this way. So what you're trying to do is that anyone you're bringing in that role must talk to customers 10 times and must talk to them in this way. Meaning that we can duplicate success if we systemize. So it's easy for us to make average people great. Of course, there's no way when you lose your talent that there won't be a temporary shaking, because those guys have been around for a while. But you see, systems will make you bounce back fast. Why? Because whatever, let's take an example, someone that constantly engages customers and there's no system tracking what they've been saying, what they are talking about, then nobody can follow up with their clients, because there's no system that's tracking every touch point for the client. So even when that person leaves, since there's a system capturing those touch points all along, continuity is easy. But you see, when there's no system, it's just like when there's you cannot easily retrieve knowledge. Like, let's say, for example, in a department of ours, you have different things that only one person can bring out. Not that there's order. That if I go ABC, when I click this place, I can get it. And it's been documented. So whenever anyone changes the process of doing things and the result change, that person must go back to update the system to make sure it's captured. The processes that you use that give you this result, even when it's about I dress this way and I look this way, then this is what I did, we must capture that knowledge. Now, if we are very high when it comes to knowledge capturing, knowledge management, then it's easy for us to move on and continue. It's more sustainable than when you don't have anything like that and rely on that key man alone. So when we lose 20%, of course, it will give you a temporary shaking, but because almost everything is documented, whatever they do, the SOPs are there. Standard operating procedures are there already. The things they were doing, the processes are captured. Then all you just need to do is to train people, using those SOPs using those systems, and your service delivery or whatever you're doing will come back to the same level over the shortest time. So when you have talents discover new ways, and they itemize it, they document it, and other average talent starts following suit the same way, and they start having extraordinary results too. So talent discover the new ways of doing things, they document it, they systemize it. Average people start following that same thing, and they start doing well again. Just like in school days, I remember when I was in school, I used to believe that some people are just wizards, that when they don't read, they just achieve. In those days, we just feel they're very talented. But you just have to get your own rhythm. All I know is the exam will only test what you know. So if I know it, even when I'm not talent, I'm not a talent in quotes, but so long I can make sure that whatever notes I'm given, I go through my notes, learn it, know it, master it, and the exam is going to test you based on what they've taught us. So automatically, that proverb that says, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard, I started acing my results. Why? Even though I don't have this magnetic brain, but all I know is the exam will test what you know. Either you have magnetic brain that you learn faster, or you have non-magnetic brain that you learn slower. The most important thing that before the exam, whatever document or whatever handout, whatever knowledge I need to go through, I know it. Then it's almost a given that will also ace that exam. So that syndrome of thinking that only talents are strong, that brought it from heaven, this it must be, if it's not there from heaven, it cannot be there, is a lie. Everything is behavioral. If you can follow the path of great men, you will also be great. So it's not a function of they were great from heaven. We must demystify that mystic conversation. The first thing I want to encourage everyone to do is to make sure you have your SOPs. Document all your processes, your body of work, your SOP, your processes, your practices, your policies. Whatever people do to achieve must be documented. You must be robust when it comes to that. And you must also put in place performance infrastructure. Whatever everybody is doing, you must put in system that can make you hold them accountable, and also those systems will be visible. So there are two things you must target under your performance infrastructure: visibility, accountability. Meaning that whatever anybody is doing, we can all see it. And accountability is you can hold people accountable for results. Sometimes we do that where you having scorecards, dashboards, metrics, meetings. You see when you do, people that learn something about agile practice and Scrum, you do daily Scrum. Let's track whatever have been done in a couple of minutes. Tell all of us, what were the goals you were meant to achieve in the last 24 hours? Have you achieved it? What were the impediments? So it promotes team learning when you put in performance infrastructure. And the last thing I feel that you said three.
Yes.
The third one will be that you must never design your roles around people. Design your roles around goals. So this is what we want to achieve as an organization. Now, the job you are designing should be designed focusing on the competency required to achieve the goal, not the competency of the team you have. Sometimes people start structuring roles to also allow the incompetency of those people, the role holders. So you must ensure that your roles or your jobs are designed to achieve your goals, and you now start getting people that have the right competence. Because I see people say, Kemi has been with me for long, he doesn't have the competence. But she's our HR now, but he doesn't have the competence. Okay, since he doesn't have that competence, let us make sure HR don't do this. Let HR only do this. So you have reduced the function of the HR to the competence of Kemi. So at the end of the day, you're draining your goals, because your goals require people that can do certain things. So now, if you want to really use Kemi, you can now see the Kemi's knowledge gap and see that for Kemi to perform maximally, Kemi must build capacity and competence that align with where you're going. So all of these frameworks must be put in place to ensure that your roles are designed for the goals and not based on the people occupying the roles. Let the people fit into, let them be the one you're bringing into the role, not the role to the people.
Seed Academy, your growth partner.